Welcome back to the Bible Reading Project. It is Monday. And I'm with, I want to call you my best friend. Not my best friend, but a friend. Because Ryan's my best friend.
All right.
And then I had Robin on. That was awkward.
Yeah.
Because Ryan's my BFF, but here's my BFF. And now people are confused.
I'm confused.
And if I call you my BFF, people are going to feel like that BFF means nothing. So I will just say welcome.
Thank you.
But a friend. So we're going to get to know you. So what I have here, ladies and gentlemen, it's going to be shocking for people. Some people may know you. I got Uncle Phil all week long. Uncle Phil is on the Bible Reading Project. Welcome.
Thank you.
To the Bible Reading Project. Several things this week.
Sure.
You're going to hang out with me all week long.
Okay.
You're brand new here at Believers Church. This is your very first day on full-time Believers team. Hanging out at Believers Church.
I'm excited.
How long do you think you're going to work here? A week or two, three, before you leave?
72 hours is what I felt like the Lord told me.
Yeah. Well, dude, I'm so excited to have you. We're going to learn all about you.
Sure.
So people in the church watch. So we're going to be introducing Uncle Phil, who has come to hang out with us, getting to know a little bit about you. Ryan had to work today.
Sure.
So you're sitting in for Ryan. So it's not that I don't like you. I kind of do.
I got a vibe, though.
You do have the vibe. You got a vibe. I don't know what kind of vibe it is, but here I was going to have to start at gut level honest. Do you or don't you banter?
Yeah, I think I do a really good job of bantering, actually. And I'll say this, where I was in South Georgia, we had a small little podcast, and it happened because we were bantering so much in my friend's Jeep. We thought we were so good at it that, we started a little podcast of our own. It's nothing like this, like the Bible Reading Project.
Yeah, we probably have 12 viewers.
I thought it was
15.
pretty good.
How many viewers, how many listeners did you have on your podcast?
On our podcast, we had 72 subscribers at one point.
That's not bad. That's pretty
pretty
good.
good
That's borderline viral famous.
Yeah, I thought so.
70-something people. So question, do you or don't you watch or listen to the Bible Reading Project?
I do. I have not watched today's, though. I'm a day or two behind. We moved
But you watch it, though, right? Yeah. So you're not like Robin.
No.
Who never watches.
No, I watch.
So you're pretty consistent. Do you read the Bible?
Occasionally, yeah.
Daily?
No, daily.
No daily or yes daily?
Yeah, daily, every day. I don't know how, in kind of a serious, I don't know how people do it without reading it daily. I don't know how you get by with it. But yeah, every day.
I started out just doing it because of guilt trip, and now here it is 31 years later. Done it every day.
Every day.
It does make a difference.
Yeah, it does.
So I want to ask you a question.
Sure.
Is there as we get to know you this week, right? We're going to just yak with you all week, banter with you all week, read the Bible together. Is there a verse that just sticks out that you would say has been a part of your life journey?
Sure.
Your go-to, man. Things are bad. Things are rough.
Yeah, sure.
You come in, or we're letting you go. You're out of here. See you later. Like if I fired you today,
right?
I wouldn't. But if I came in and said, Phil, it's nice to have you. It's your last day. Pack your stuff. What would be your go-to verse?
So I don't know if it's a verse. It's a few verses out of Isaiah. Isaiah 61. On those rough days, pastors, they always say, Easter's great, and then Monday comes around and everybody's resigning on that Monday. I always resort to Isaiah 61. The Spirit of the Lord is upon me because He has, and then He lists the things that He's called you to do, good times, bad times, And so that the first probably, I just pulled it up, probably 5 to 10 verses of Isaiah 61.
All right, read it. Read them to us.
It says, the Spirit of the Sovereign Lord is upon me, for the Lord has anointed me to do this, to bring good news to the poor. He sent me to comfort the brokenhearted and to proclaim the captives that will be released and prisoners will be freed. He sent me to tell those who mourn that the time of the Lord's favor has come, and with it the day of God's anger against their enemies. To all who mourn in Israel, He will give a crown of beauty for ashes, a joyous blessing instead of mourning, festive praise instead of despair. In their righteousness they will be like great oaks that the Lord has planted for His own glory. And I just love that. That's good. When people, when you don't know the answer, you can read Isaiah 61 and He said, well, this is what I'm calling you to do with nothing else. And so those first few verses, and the whole chapter is great, but those first few verses of Isaiah 61 have been kind of a life guide for me, I think.
That's awesome. So we're going to hang out all week. We're going to banter.
I'm excited.
Yeah, we're going to banter. And I'm probably going to tell Robin that we've hired you because we banter.
Sure.
Because she hates that.
Right.
Did you watch?
So does that reflect on me? Is she going to not like me?
I'm not scared of her. Okay. Not scared of her.
So I shouldn't be?
I am scared of her, but I can say that here because she doesn't watch.
Right.
If she was watching, I'd be like, hey.
Sure.
But she doesn't watch.
She doesn't know.
No, watch this. Honey, if you're watching right now and you comment today on Phil's first episode, Venmo you $100.
Whoa.
Yeah,
I like it. Okay.
Yeah, well, she's not.
You're safe with that $100.
I am
is what
so
you're saying.
safe that she will not comment.
Okay.
On Monday, introducing you for the first time.
I like it.
I'm so confident I would Venmo her $100 if she watched it. She doesn't watch
Okay.
it. So you're pretty up. You understand what this garbage is.
Yeah, sure.
You've watched long enough to know this is the Think bar that's terrible.
Right. I don't want to eat it if that's
You will. And that Mary Jane's are my favorite. So you're up to date. Did you also know that we're now receiving our very own mail?
No, I did not know that actually.
All right, we got our first piece of mail.
Right.
So we're introducing, if people want to write in, they can write in right here. Okay. And I say Mark and Ryan. It's your name will probably never be up there.
Right.
And like Mark and Phil.
Right.
But Mark and Ryan, Bible reading banterers.
Sure.
And then 2981 Beaumont Road. You write to us. We got a beautiful, look at that, man, hand-drawn boat.
For the cruise.
From a girl named Mary Grace. I mean, just that name alone, Mary, Virgin Mary,
Like
who had
it.
Jesus, Grace, as in I'm truth, grace.
Sure.
Her name alone represents the Bible reading project.
Okay.
Mary Grace Bible reading project. So she's willing to go on the bantering cruise with us. So I want to ask you a question because Ryan is kind of not there yet. You believe in this?
Oh, 100%.
Are you going to go?
Yeah. Yeah.
All right, good. Because Ryan is like, I don't think it's going to happen, and I'm in. I'm like, dude, it will
100%.
happen. He goes, I just don't believe it'll happen. And I'm like, dude, we are going on this trip. The only thing to keep me off this trip
is
if they make me take a COVID shot.
Sure.
I'm not going. Because I don't want to get out in the middle of the ocean. And then
Right.
somebody say to come back and see your grandchild.
Sure.
Or your dog.
Right.
Which is not my dog.
Right.
Or your wife.
Sure.
You got to have a shot. And then I'd never see my wife. Because it's like COVID, see Rob. I just don't want to,
Right.
So are you going to go?
Yeah, 100%.
All right, well, you ready to how good God is?
Yeah.
I just got 2 days ago an email from Royal Caribbean
Get out.
that they are not going to make any of their guests
Really?
on their cruise line have to prove a COVID or COVID shot.
It's happening.
So it's happening. So we now know Royal Caribbean will be our cruise line.
Okay.
So we're that far along.
Okay.
And you're an organizer, right?
that's what
why
I
you're
do.
coming on. So
What I
and
do.
so is Ryan's mom. I know if you've been around any time at all, you've heard KD.
Yeah, sure.
So she's kind of the cruise director.
Okay.
But she's sort of nervous too. Like, guys, I want to help you, but because I'm the dreamer.
Sure.
Ryan's the doubter. But you're a dreamer and a doubter, and we bring you in. And so what we're going to ask you is to be like the purser.
Got it.
You're going to work with our cruise director here to pull this thing off. So far, we have 8 people that have said, oh, you count me in. I'm on the Bible boat bantering. So when I ask you, Uncle Phil, your first day on the Bible read, will you manage the Bible
100%.
bantering cruise for us?
I'll even do that for free. I won't even charge you.
Not even gonna, so you're on that. You will
All in.
You'll work with because we're going to take Katie. She's going with us. Super Kim is going with us, and she's going to be there, man, to just kind of be the cruise Julie, the cruise director.
Sure.
So she's going to cruise direct the thing.
Yeah.
But she lives in Washington, so up there,
Up
so
north.
But we just need somebody that can go, this is what it's going to cost. And now that we know the cruise line, Royal Caribbean, thank God for Governor DeSantis because he's like, hey, you want to travel, you can do it on Royal Caribbean. So we're going to go.
Good.
So with all the people, we probably have 15,000 people that watch us.
Sure.
Are you committing publicly
Yes.
that you will organize the Bible boat bantering cruise for 2022?
100%. I'm all in. You can count on me.
All right, so I'm excited. So if you want to go to the Bible boat bantering cruise, simply write to, I'm going to put it back up here again because I just want people to know. Simply write to us, or as I like to say, they can drop us a DM
Yeah, sure.
in Instagram.
It's a cool way to say it.
But you can write to us like Mary Grace. Mary Grace is going. Here's what she's offered.
Yeah.
She said, I will go on the cruise with you if I can stand at the in front of the buffets and spray hand sanitizer on people and say, washy washy.
Right.
What she wants to say something. I can't remember it. But
While she's spraying the hand
while she's
sanitizer.
spraying, she wants
Okay.
to say washy washy equals happy happy
Okay.
and spraying sanitizer.
Right.
So me and Ryan are like, yeah,
So you've agreed to that.
yeah. So know this as you
Okay.
plan it. It's a health cruise.
Okay.
Be healthy. There's no disease on this cruise. I have believed all along I'm going.
Right.
Ryan is the doubter.
Yeah.
His mother's like, I'm in, but you have no but.
got it. No, there's no buts.
You're going to
100%
pull
all
this
in.
thing off.
Yeah,
So,
100%.
man, thank you so
What
much.
about Robin? Is Robin going?
Robin,
I mean, she doesn't like the banter.
Robin lives with me. So she's already like, Mark's a dreamer. It's never going to happen. And I'm like, of course I'm a dreamer, but God sends me people to make it happen.
Sure.
And I believe he sent you to make it happen. So she's agreed to go.
Okay.
Me and Ryan are going to be on the front of the boat bantering. Come sit down with us. You can hang out with us. You can go on the cruise with us. And we even got, I don't know, the Banter Bod shirts. We will be wearing.
We have merch.
We have merch.
Very cool. Okay.
We will be wearing the shirts.
Cool.
But Robin said, I don't want to banter. I want to be on the back of the boat listening to Bethel worship, reading a Bible. And so those that are spiritual can go to the back of the boat and sit with Robin, and they can talk about God and Jesus. Me and Ryan up front, no. We're just going to be bantering.
Sure.
We'll be talking about globe Earth, flat Earth, dinosaurs, T-Rexes. Did we go to the moon?
Sure.
Is Joe Biden guilty? Is Donald Trump? I mean, we'll be bantering there, and we've agreed there. Every topic is fair.
Okay.
So we'll talk Republican
Everything's
stuff,
open game.
Democrat stuff. We don't care. We don't get our feelings hurt. But since you mentioned that, before we jump in, because we got to go quick.
Sure.
There's a lot. Did you know we now have a merch shop?
Man.
Shop.mybelieverschurch.com.
Wow.
If you go there, Ryan, who is the daddy of this show, Ryan has set up an entire merch shop.
Wow.
You can get coffee mugs now. Yeah. You can get T-shirts now. Wow. And we're adding new shirts and new merch every single week. So, man, jump on there and buy you a shirt.
I like it. I'll do it right now.
Yeah, jump on, get you a shirt. Everything goes to support us. You can pick out your favorite T-shirt.
Sure.
And we get the funds out of it.
Do they make it in fat? Because I've got extra large.
Yeah, they make it in 5X. So it may cost a little more, but, man, it's extra ink for somebody big like you. So let's jump in, man. We're 116 and 117 today, tomorrow. But guess what? Wednesday.
What's that?
Dude, Thursday is Psalm 119.
Yep.
So we got a lot of reading to do this week.
Yeah.
So somebody said, what are you going to do when you get Psalm 119? I said, we're going to read it.
Read all of it.
So we're going to read all of it. So we're going to get to know you a little better this week. So let's jump in. Psalm 116. Here's how it goes if you're with us. I read it, or whoever reads, and then the person listening just chimes in with, man, this is what stuck out to me.
Sure.
And we banter about the Bible.
Sure.
Verse 1 of Psalm 116. I love the Lord because he hears my voice and my prayer for mercy. Because he bends down to listen, I pray as long as I have breath. Death wrapped its ropes around me, and the terrors of the grave overtook me. I saw only trouble and sorrow, and I called on the name of the Lord. Please, Lord, save me. How kind the Lord is. How good he is. So merciful, this God of ours. The Lord protects those of childlike faith. I was facing death, and he saved me. Let my soul be at rest again. For the Lord has been good to me. He saved me from death, my eyes from tears, my feet from stumbling. And so I walk in the Lord's presence as I live here on the earth. I believed in you, so I said, I'm deeply troubled, Lord. In my anxiety, I cried out to you. These people are all liars. What can I offer the Lord for all he has done for me? I will lift up a cup of salvation and praise the Lord's name for saving me. I will keep my promises to the Lord in the presence of all his people. The Lord cares deeply when his loved ones die. O Lord, I'm your servant. Yes, I'm your servant. Born into your household, you freed me from my chains. I will offer you a sacrifice of thanksgiving and call on the name of the Lord. I will fulfill my vows to the Lord in the presence of all his people, in the house of the Lord, in the heart of Jerusalem. Praise the Lord. Good stuff.
It's good stuff.
Anything just stick out?
Yeah, I mean, a couple verses there.
Right.
I really like verse 2. I will pray as long as I have breath. Man, I think that's an important key. I'm a simplist. When I read through stuff like this, David is one of my favorite figures in the Bible, and Psalms is one of my favorite books in the Bible. And I like the honesty of David all throughout the Psalms. But verse 2, and I think verse 5, man, how kind the Lord is. And how good he is and merciful, this God of ours. I just like the honesty of David, but I love how these verses just all come together with, man, how good he is and how David is really in here through Psalms 116 from top to bottom, man. You know, David's going through stuff, but it's never been an issue with how good God is, how good God has been to him. And so all throughout the Psalms, but here I just like the honesty that David brings to
Do
it.
me a favor.
Yeah.
Tell everybody what happened with your house last week and what went down.
Yeah.
And it's kind of threw you for a loop.
Sure.
And then kind of in there, and then I want to ask you how you handled it. So just lay it on us.
And just talking about how good the Lord is to you, and I like how in that verse 5, how kind and how good he is. There's an exclamation point there. So last week, we're selling our house, to move up here. And I think it was Thursday, I was supposed to close at 9 a.m. In Savannah, Georgia. And so Wednesday night, the buyers of the house do a walkthrough. They get crazy with some issues that were not issues. They end up, long story short, they end up coming to me and saying, I tell you what, if you will give me $7,000, we'll close. But if you don't give me, $7,000, I'm not going to close. And so, of course, we said, well, we're not giving you $7,000. We're 12 hours away from the closing of the house. So that night they closed. They walked away from the closing. Really through the whole thing. So we did not sell our house, and we ended up moving up Thursday morning. When we were supposed to sell our house, and so we had a peace through the whole thing. My realtor called and said, listen, I have somebody Thursday afternoon. Now, the closing was supposed to happen Thursday morning. I've got somebody Thursday afternoon that wants to look at your house. I think it was around noon that day. Mm-hmm. Later that afternoon, she calls and says, I expect to be under contract for full asking price.
Yeah, which was like $7,000 more.
Yeah, which was $7,000 more. I expect to be under full asking price by Wednesday of next week, under contract and everything. And there was just, I don't know, how when God is in something, all things works together, and we say all things works together for the good of those, the Bible says, for the good of those that love him, and we kind of stop there. But when you finish that verse out and are called according to his purpose, we feel like coming up here, we feel like we've heard from God. We know we've heard from God. And there was just a peace, Pastor Mark, that through the whole thing, of course we were disappointed. Man, we wanted to sell our house and move on. But there was just a peace that God is in this, and just the goodness of God, man, and how he's been to us through this whole transition and everything. Yeah. It's been so good. And so I guess that's what I'm saying when I read verses like when David's like, man, because he bends down to listen to me, I'm going to pray for as long as I can, as long as I have breath in my body. And then he goes on to say, man, God is good. God is so great. I live that. That's not just a story that you hear in Sunday school growing up. Sure. But my testimony is, man, if nothing else, God's been good to me.
Yeah, here, because Robin and I work hard to bring the authenticity of Jesus, sure. Right? So I want to read your text that you sent me that day. I saved it.
Okay.
You said, dude, exclamation point. I need prayers, exclamation point. Apparently, the buyers of our house are trying to cancel closing. I will call you when I can.
Sure.
He just did a walkthrough on the house and said it wasn't cleaned well enough, and now I'm irate. It was professionally cleaned this morning. They just canceled the closing. I'm pretty disappointed, but we're good. Yeah. Oh, P.S., the buyer is even threatening to sue. Ha ha. And then I sent back, dude, I'm going to be praying for him. We chatted a little bit. But then I love what you sent back. You said, yeah, we're good. I'm reminded of what Paul said when he said, not that I'm speaking of being in need, for I've learned in whatever situation I am to be content. Anything that God is in will work for my good, so we are good. I still want to beat that couple up, though, at least the guy. Sure. I think that's the reality of faith, right?
Sure.
I didn't like how it turned out. Sure. I still want to beat the guy up.
Right.
I'm still mad, but I'm not going to do anything about it because I'm going to trust the Lord.
Sure.
Because I believe God is still good to me, even when it doesn't feel like life is good. So thank you, man.
Yeah.
It inspires me that you're here.
Sure.
It inspires me to have you part of this house with us. I know I've known you 10 years.
Yep.
I know all the people that are going to get to know you over the next long years working here, part of this team, are going to enjoy your spirit, your passion for the kingdom, your love for Jesus, your sweet family, man. I mean, they are awesome. And we'll learn all about you this week. But thank you for hanging out. Thank you for sharing that with you. I'll see you tomorrow. Bless you guys, too. Have a great day. Me and Phil will see you tomorrow.